Welcome home,
Not to a place.
but to yourself.
You're listening to Starlight and Sage coming home to ourselves,
A place where science meets soul,
where curiosity replaces judgment.
and where we explore what it really means to care for our minds, our bodies, and our lives.
We're not here to convince you,
We're here to learn alongside you.
because your body has been speaking all along.
So wherever today finds you, take a breath
And come home.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We are so excited to do this next episode. It has been an interesting morning so far already. So Shade and I got up at 4:45 in the morning. I don't think we talked about the exciting news for you last episode.
So we're training to run a marathon.
Yes, it's coming up soon. We have 11 weeks left. It's going to be in October in Kansas City. We are going to do the Garmin Marathon, which is like one of the funnest ones. So for all of you runners out there, if you have not done the marathon in Kansas City, it is next level fun. There are live bands at almost every corner. The entire city gets together, whole apartment complexes that people are shouting from their balcony. There are spectators genuinely everywhere.
I can't wait for the hype.
Oh my gosh, it is.
We're so hyped,
Yeah.
if we're supporting each other or a friend or on it's not just the person that we went to see, every single runner or just any sports thing.
We're super extra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You usually lose your voice, so that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a couple weeks ago, one of our good friends, she did her first ultra marathon, and she did it in the middle of July, which kudos to her because wild. It was so freaking hot out there. And she did it at Devil's Lake State Park, dancing in the dirt, right?
Yeah.
Dances with the dirt, something like that. But we cheered the entire day. It was over 8 hours of screaming, yelling. And it was funny because when we left the race, there were people in the parking lot, and I didn't remember them throughout the day.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to miss you guys. Because we were just screaming and cheering. Dude, you knew a runner was coming before they were well down the way. Because I was already like, yeah, let's go. But I love that because when you're running, especially when you're doing an endurance sport, sometimes you just get so in your head, and then having people to cheer for you, oh, it's so amazing. So anytime that we do our races, we're also woohooing everybody else.
We're like, okay, we need to work that into the training.
Yeah, right. I know.
as we're running in the morning.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So this morning, we woke up at 4:45 in the morning. We got out the door and very, very, very quickly found out that today was not the day.
No. I could see it through my curtains, this, and I'm like, is it foggy? Did it storm? Okay. And then just started to get ready. Fed the babies, crept through the house, and then I was like, oh, I'll sneak out through the garage. I won't wake anybody up. And I was hit with just this wave. That was okay, indicator number 2. And just oh, okay, how many signs? Then I get in my car, fogged windows. So I'm like, okay. Then deer, babies crossing the road right in front of me in my neighborhood, in town. Yeah. Or the town deer, which is so funny.
Yep.
Then get to Vanessa's. We get outside and it's it's bad.
I know.
How is it so hot? Yeah.
And so we always do a warm up and a cool down. We are really big advocates of making sure that you stretch and making sure that you're walking before you start your run and really warming up your body. And we had gone 0.30 miles for our warm up and already sweating, already couldn't do full sentences because we couldn't take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And then we still tried. I mean, we tried. Made it a mile, and then we both were like, we're gonna walk home.
Yeah. Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah, and we were supposed to do 15 and a half miles. We had like a whole plan, a whole route. Like we have to man the troops because of baby Simon. So like everyone was ready.
Before, always the night before is like planning.
Yeah.
Okay. Dad, you're gonna have baby in the morning.
Yeah.
Then grandma for a little bit. Then this was gonna be the first one, like bring him to me so I can breastfeed for a little bit, and then so we can have a longer cool down because this is what's gonna happen in the race. And I walk in the door and Dad it was like, I thought you were gonna call me. It's 7. And we're like, yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna shower because I'm already sweating from a mile.
Yeah, we like did 2.5 miles total, but like, I mean, seriously, like profusely sweating, and we just couldn't take a deep breath. And Google was like, I always check Google for like, oh, what's the running conditions? And Google was red all the way until like 11 p.m. And I was like, okay, great. Today is not the day for a long run. And then like at some point during the run, I was like, maybe we could just do like treadmill. And then I was like, no, we're done. Yeah. We're really done. So yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah. So the point of all of this is to say like, we made plans. They already kind of like were, I'll say different because normally our long runs are on Sunday. But I had some babies this weekend. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a foster parent. And part of being a foster parent is also doing respite, which is just a way for other foster families to like take a break or to like have a babysitter that they know, they trust, that knows the kiddos. And so I had a couple of babies this weekend and we couldn't go out for a run. And so like we had already been like, okay, it's fine because we're going to do it on Monday. Everything will be good to go. And then for it to not happen, but then for us to be okay with it. Like we listened to our bodies. It was really hard to breathe. We were like already, I don't know, I felt like I was already drained and like we hadn't even like begun.
Yeah.
And like this long run, we do 3-1 intervals. So it's 3 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking. This one, I was supposed to like push us a little bit, make sure that we're really start focusing more on race conditions. So far in our training, we've really been focused on time on our feet, making sure that we're tackling the hills. And now as we transition to almost coming up, I want to be in a race mentality. This race's goal, which I highly encourage for everyone, whenever you complete a distance that you have never completed, your goal should always be to just finish. There's no time. It doesn't matter if you're slow or whatever. It's just about completing it. And it's not just finishing it. It's finishing it with fuel still in your tank. It's finishing knowing that you can recover well from the experience. Then as you continue to do the distance that you're now comfortable with, then you can focus on time and like, like going balls to the wall. But for your very first one, like it needs to be an enjoyable experience, not only for your mental health, but for your physical body. And then of course, us as women, we have so many other factors that have to come into play. And so like right now, my period should be arriving today. So we knew that today was going to be a little bit harder of a run for my body in particular, but we were going to take things like nice and easy regardless. Like we definitely have like half the elevation that we normally we're like have been accustomed to for a long runs. I had only taken us like half the hills that we would typically do. So like we were adjusting, but it's also having like that right mentality when things don't go well and your body doesn't cooperate and the weather doesn't cooperate and life's to like have a smile on your face and be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll just do some longer runs throughout the week, and then we'll plan on doing our 15 and a half miles this coming Sunday. And hopefully the weather will cooperate with us if we're going to be checking, and maybe we'll have to
adjust again.
Well, we won't. Saturday we're going to the Ren Fair. Yay!
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Adults, if you do not dress up, you're missing out.
Oh, I'm all about any chance somebody is like, oh, you want to dress up? I'm like, yes.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah, so we're doing the Renaissance Fair and it's in Bristol, Wisconsin, and it is a massive event. They have it all summer long. And every weekend is a different theme. I don't know what the theme is this weekend for us going, but we're super excited. So Saturday we can't do a long run. So hopefully, and maybe it'll have to be like a Friday or something. Who knows? We'll pay attention to the weather and hopefully Wisconsin will cooperate with us.
The
So
Ren
yeah.
Fair is yet childhood memory that I have, like going with friends and
Okay.
they taking us to the Ren Fair and like I remember the wax, dipping your hand in the wax. So I'm like, if they have that, I already told my son, like, you're gonna do this.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I hope you want to, or I will do it and
Yeah.
be like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I really
And the
like,
big turkey leg, like
oh,
that's
I
the
can't
other
wait.
iconic thing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm for sure doing that. I think it's funny because like when I grew up, I would have never thought that adults would like dress up
Yeah.
or adults would like do the things that like we have done. Like we've been doing fantasy balls and like just all kinds of stuff. And like I did not see that growing up. I only saw like very serious adults.
Yeah.
And like when I grew up, I felt like the adults in my life were so old. And my mother was 18 when she had me. She was not old
Yes.
at all, like not even close. And like I'm just thankful that our kids get to see us
See, it's
still
still, yeah.
like embracing life
Oh.
and having fun and being silly and having these experiences. Like I've never been to the Renaissance Fair. So like my kids were like, "You've never been?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, I've never been to a Renaissance Fair." So them getting to see that even as an adult, I can still have like first time experiences
Yeah.
and like also be super excited. I love it. I think it's like
That
so
is
important.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm
we didn't-
excited that it's your first one.
Yeah, we did not do stuff like that when I was growing up. That was not a thing. I mean,
See, I never did the things with my family.
right?
I would do it with other people's families.
Yeah,
It just was like, I was like the adopted kid, but wasn't
yeah,
really. I just,
yeah,
you know, and like at first, I thought my parents, they were having fun.
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this fun is really fueled by a lot of alcohol and other
And
substances.
drugs. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The only time my father was ever in a good mood was when he was drunk or on cocaine. So.
Oh, so a good mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I even remember like us growing up and like he would just have these spells of being silly and we had no idea. I mean, like as I got older,
Yeah.
then I knew why. But like, yeah, that was like the only time. Otherwise, he was just like this grumpy old man. Yeah, and he beat the crap out of us all the time or screamed or yelled or like growing up we didn't see like what a healthy relationship looked like. We didn't see what love looked like. Like so for our kids to like get to experience like such a beautiful demonstration of what like healthy relationships look like and doing things with your family. Like my girls literally come into my room almost every night and like lay on my bed and like talk to me and we like want to watch a TV show together or just simply talk or watch a movie or whatever. But like my teenagers, they want to communicate with me. They want to spend time with me. Like
I can see how quickly it moves from not being that. And I just said that to my mom yesterday because she struggles and she's working on it. Like, yeah, in her whole childhood, it was the don't be seen or heard. Like, so when we're so open with our kids and letting them communicate a lot and in our stories and around and having like so many more choices. Yeah. She struggles. And I just said yesterday, I was like, what if the day comes and he doesn't want to talk to us? Yeah. Like, isn't that to me, like reminds myself, like, anytime I'm like, oh, like, I'm just trying to do something, like, just wait, like, what if there's the moment he doesn't want to spend time with me? Like, oh, okay, stop, like, really stop what I'm doing. Is it really that important?
Yeah, yeah, and it's hard. Because, like, of course, we also have our own emotions and feelings, and sometimes, like, having the kids around does make things more difficult or trying to accomplish something when they're not listening or whatever it is. But, like, I couldn't imagine having a life where my children didn't want to be a part of my life or that I like didn't strive to be that safe human being for them. Because like I did not have a single adult in my life who was a safe human being.
It's wild to realize that.
Yeah.
Like, and I realized it's so young.
Yeah. Like not one. No, like no adults.
Like now I can say like my mom is a safe
Yeah.
space. But like, yeah, at 15 I was like, this is not okay. Even before that. Like in elementary school when they would do like dare
Oh my
and
God.
they would like ask, what's going on at home?
Yeah.
And then I just knew, even then, I was like, what are you guys gonna do?
Right.
You're gonna come home and make sure my dad doesn't drink?
Right. So crazy.
Like,
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I think that it is insanely wild to think that we survived everything that we survived. Like every time we talk, yeah. And like I was just telling my kids like from our last episode when we talked about like happy memories in childhood
yeah.
and like how I struggled and how all week I was trying to think of a happy memory that wasn't laced with something negative. And I was like, you guys could give me novels of happy moments that you have experienced in your lifetime, or even just like in the summer alone and like everything that we've gotten to experience. And I'm so thankful that like this is the kind of life that we lead and that like our kids are going to be 1,000 times better than we are.
Yeah.
And I'm so ready for it.
Could you just imagine if like the social media aspect wasn't like how I feel like that's the one thing that's like really draining with the kids.
Oh yeah.
If that wasn't like our generation has really done so much work for healing.
Yeah.
I feel like if you look at
social media is going to be it's going to continue to get rough. I feel like I just really try and stress like my kids having real time away from their phones and not super connected to their phones, because I do believe that our kids have one of the hardest generations to grow up in because they have access to so much.
Yeah, it is what it's always about. It's too much.
It's way too much. Like when we were growing up and we went to school, like we had to deal with the bullshit and the bullies and the drama and all of that. But then we went home, and unfortunately for you and me, our houses were not the best place either, but we got to escape one drama and like take a break from it. And like our kids, there's no escape.
Yeah.
It's just 24/7. Like everybody just has access to each other all the time. And if you're not on, what are you missing? Like even my 11-year-old, she's 11 going on 23. And if she is off her phone for like even 30 minutes, the amount of messages that she's received in that 30 minutes and like her friends wondering how come she wasn't answering, and like, until we talk about like healthy boundaries and like just because people have the ability to have access to you doesn't mean that you need to give them access to you. And like you have to have a friendship that is based in like trust and love and safety. Because like even you and me, we've gone where like you have messaged me or I've messaged you and it's been hours before we hear back from each other.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh hey, life happened. Or we don't even give an excuse. We just answer the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's okay because that should be normal.
Mm-hmm.
And like back in the day, I told my kids, I was like, man, when I moved so often, but I was writing letters back and forth to my friends, and I'd have to wait 2 weeks to hear back from them. And we had like little printed pictures that we did like on the computer or whatever, and like that was the only form.
I feel like the importance of, and I've been trying to stress this too, my kid, like the effort and time into something, like the reward is usually a more fulfilling feeling. And like,
For
yeah,
sure.
the letter, like taking the time to actually write it and sending and waiting and being so excited.
Yeah. Checking the mail every
Yeah.
single day. And like those friendships, what I think is even crazier, is those friendships to this day. So, and this is really funny. I didn't have girlfriends when I was growing up. One, because I had a really difficult time with girls. There was a lot of cattiness and jealousy. Two, I was trying really hard to not like girls. I couldn't be a lesbian because I was going to go to hell if I was a lesbian. And then my very first girlfriend that I had, when we broke up, it was like devastating, you know? And then so I just naturally gravitated towards boys. And my two friends that I had that I was writing letters to were both boys. Funny enough, they were actually both my boyfriend at one time as well. And they were also friends. Judge me not.
I say, oh, that sounds about the same.
Yeah, it sounds about right. The 90s and 2000s, like that's just what you did. I don't know. But to this day, I still have both of them. We are on Facebook, but we still interact in some capacity. Now we are grown ass human beings with lives and whatever. But I think that if we wouldn't have been writing each other letters when I had left, that we probably would be virtual strangers. And I think it's really cool because now I like get to see their life in a totally different way and like get to see like some of their dreams like lived out into reality. And I think that that is super cool.
Yeah.
Or like how Adam and I, our entire relationship for a year and a half was long distance. And we were Skyping back then. It was Skype.
Oh yeah, for Skype.
Yeah, and so like that's how we spent a year and a half of our relationship, and we learned everything that there was to know about each other and how to communicate with each other and what each other's love languages were. And I would never trade the experience that we had in being so far apart from each other through our dating life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, because like we are so strong now.
Yeah.
Because our relationship was built on only communication. There was no going on dates. There wasn't going to the movies. There wasn't like the physicality of it. I mean, yeah, for sure, when he came, we definitely made up for lost time, but like that wasn't the primary aspect of our relationship. And I think nowadays, like that's what it is too. Like when you go on a date with someone, or like even just like even like my teenagers, like the amount of pressure that's put on the physicality component of like the relationship, it's rough. And I mean, I remember when I was a teenager too, like, that's what you did. You freaking had sex, you made out, did other things, and like, you didn't ever actually get to know.
I know, I'm thinking about with Eric, we can, that's like when Snapchat first came out.
Yeah,
and
how crazy.
We definitely, talked so much.
Yeah.
Back and forth and pictures all the time and just like daily stuff. And then he seen me in a very vulnerable spot. Probably the last, that was one of the, okay, I think I could be done drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like just cared for me. And it was like, okay, this guy's like a really great guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really important. And I always tell my kids, like, I want you to find a relationship that's even better than the relationship that I have with your dad. Like, I want you to see us as like the minimum standard. Like, if the person that you're with isn't that in love with you, the way that we're in love with each other, and if you can't do life the way that we do life, that person is not it for you. I tell my girls all the time, find a man who's more obsessed with you than Adam is with me. And like my girls will be like, I don't know if that can happen. But like, dude, like that's a freaking flex. Like if I did anything right in my life, it was freaking being with Adam, man.
Yeah.
Like I made a lot of stupid ass choices. And like he was the one choice that I made in when I was the most broken. That was like the only good choice.
Same.
Yeah, is that so crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
really crazy.
Out of all of the brokenness.
I had just like got the ankle bracelet
Mm-hmm.
for DUIs and came to Reedsburg. Yeah, and went to an house part, like an outdoor party. Never went to one before. Met him, and yeah, then it just was like trickles. Yeah, really slow. Took it easy, but now that you say that, it just really clicked that that was like a
That was the
really,
moment.
really low. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working in Madison as a medical assistant, like after school. And the best day I had, I roomed my doctor's patients, roomed some other patients, like was feeling like flex, like this crushing. And they brought me in and fired me. And that's the only time in my entire life that I've ever been fired. And like, it's so funny to think about now. I asked them to leave the room because I didn't know. I was like, I really don't know how I'm going to react right now. And I asked them to leave the room and they did. And then I cried. And then I got my stuff. And like, as I'm leaving, one of the people there were like, we're really sorry. Like, we did not know that. And they said, like, in my probationary time, I had missed too many days. And yeah, and they knew I was an ankle bracelet, I was heartbroken. And then I leave Madison to come to Reedsburg.
I'm
I
glad
was
you.
like, yeah, like it felt like, yeah, like life's over. Like at this age, come on, like you just graduated college. Now you're not working at what you went to school for. Oh, great. That was a bunch of student loans for nothing. But looking now, it's like, oh, that was perfect. I'm so glad all of that happened
Yeah.
because that got me into this side. And I'm so glad I got to see like the medical field. And I was a phlebotomist and I loved drawing blood. I loved working for the doctors as a medical assistant and grooming patients. But then there was little things that didn't feel like
Mm-hmm.
lucky enough when I worked or did my clinical, I got to work in lacrosse at every department at the Gunderson. So like every ENT, then they had me down doing coding and billing. They had me do the front, pediatrics, everywhere for a week or two. So it was such a great experience. And pediatrics day one and giving shots, I was like, nope, nope.
Yeah.
And I love kids, always like love baby, but I was like, this, and I didn't know at the time, like that was like, okay, something didn't feel right. I'm like, but with the geriatric, they lived a good life.
Right.
Like,
If they,
yeah, I don't want anything to happen to them, but they, yeah,
at least they lived.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think, I mean, and it's crazy because like both of us were CNAs
yeah,
like
but-
in our life, and I had desperately wanted to be a nurse. Like that was what my plan was. Like once I realized that becoming an actress was never going to be a thing for me, and at that point in my
Okay.
life,
you
I
never
wanted to,
know.
yeah, I wanted to be a writer, and I'm like, oh, that's a long shot. I'm not going to be a writer, so like you have to do something practical, Vanessa.
Yeah, but what if somebody was telling you you could have been a writer?
Yeah. Oh man, if
Yeah.
somebody told me I could have been even, even just not a fuck up.
Yeah,
If I had somebody in my life who just genuinely believed in me, who gave me some care, who told me that they loved me, I mean, anything, my life would have been vastly different. And I'm very, very thankful for all of my experiences. I genuinely
Definitely.
believe that this was the path that my soul chose. And I wouldn't change it for the world. But oh yeah, if somebody had believed me enough, I think I would be a totally different human. I had one teacher in my entire life.
Oh,
It's
that's
so funny.
nice. Yeah, to have
Like
yeah.
one, but she was, I was in fifth grade and I
Yeah.
was writing a book and she introduced me to an author. His name is Ben Michelson, and she introduced me to him because he had come to our school and he was like showcasing his book, and she let him read a little short story I wrote, and he told me that one day he knew that he was going to be reading my books.
Aw.
And it was like that was the first time in my life that somebody did not put me down. I didn't even know how to read until I was in second grade because we had moved so often and like so much had gotten lost and I couldn't read. And like in hindsight, like my daughter also had a peculiar learning disability. where she couldn't read and she couldn't recognize letters. And I almost want to say that that must have been the same case for me.
Okay.
And like, thankfully, I, as a mother, ensured that she got every opportunity to be helped, like that we possibly could. And we had a really great team behind her at school who finally like broke through whatever it was. Like they didn't know. They had no idea. She couldn't recognize letters at all. So we would be doing like the letter C, and all day long she would talk about C because that's what we told her it was. But the very next day, when she looked at it again, it was like a foreign object.
Okay.
She had no idea. So she really struggled with reading too. And the school did a really phenomenal job just kind of like giving her extra time to be with like some of like the reading specialists or whatever. And now she's like top of her class. And she's going into 6th grade, and I was top of my class going into like 5th and 6th grade. But that was the only adult in my life, other than a drama teacher one time that had like told me that I could be something, but I'd never been told that I could be something.
Mhm.
So when I was 16, or I guess when I was 15, I did the technical college so that I could be a CNA. And that teacher, who we both had.
Oh, yeah.
Natty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is what's wild.
Okay, Natty Kranz is
Yes.
one of the most spectacular human
Yes.
beings in the freaking world. I could cry over it too. She was phenomenal.
And we're
So,
both okay. So I'm taking it.
yep, I was
But-
15.
I was 15,
Mhm.
but I took it in Toma.
And I took it in Boston.
So we're literally 35 minutes away from
Did
each
you
other.
Did you take it at the TC in Toma then?
Yes. Yes, we took it at the TC, and I remember when we started doing our externship, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
I did it in Sparta at the Moral Hall. I can
Okay.
remember that. And I remember me and my friend, Kari, we were the first one. We're like, we're going to check off a suppository. We're going to be the first ones to check off the worst thing off the list right
Yeah.
away. We're like, Nettie, come watch us. Give us a done.
Oh gosh, that's so wild. Yeah, and so I did it at the TC. And I didn't have a car and I didn't have a driver's license. So in Wisconsin, you have to take driver's ed in order to get your license. And my mother was a single mother of 4 girls. There was no paying I think it was like $300 back then to get a driver's license, nor did my mother allow us. I'm like, she didn't allow us to do anything. We were very much like, you just had to go to school and come right back home. We couldn't go to friends' houses. We couldn't do extracurricular activities. There was none of that. But I had won the scholarship to be able to go to the TC to be able to complete my CNA. So I didn't have to pay the however much it costs to get your license because I had gotten a scholarship. And so the only place that I could do anything at was in Boston because I had to walk. So I walked to the nursing home, and that was where I did the internship, and then that's where I ended up getting a job at. So for me, the reason why I stopped being a CNA is my doctor actually told me I was killing myself. I
smiled, but
I know
my back.
Yeah, I was just so sick. So every time a resident got sick, I got sick.
Oh, okay.
Every time I'm like my asthma was exasperated all the time. I was just genuinely so freaking sick. It was incredible how sick I was. So one day my doctor was like, it was after like my, I don't know, 10th emergency room visit. The doctor was like, you're killing yourself.
Yeah.
You can't be in the medical field. You're not going to be able to be a nurse. She was so blunt, but I'm so appreciative of her because I really did need that. And I quit being a CNA. And then that led me into a very wild roller coaster of different jobs. And I'm very thankful that I am here today and that it's been 5 years of doing holistic wellness. And like, I love that we got to see what Western medicine had.
Yes.
And I'm glad that like we're the kind of human beings that like will say there's a time and place for Western medicine, and there's a time and place for what the United States calls alternative medicine or holistic healing or whatever. But like we really do a great job of like mixing the two. 'Cause, like
they should be. That's like
Yeah.
it needs to be.
it does. It does.
Integrated. Yeah.
Yeah, like, am I going to give my kid ibuprofen when they have a headadeche? No, I'm going to give them peppermint oil first. I'm going to ask if they've drank a cup of water.
Yeah.
Like make sure like what did you eat today? Like how did you support your body? But like
did you sleep last night?
yeah, how much sleep have you gotten? So all of those questions, and then but if they sprain an ankle or mess up their knee,
there's a bone sticking through your arm. No.
Yeah, maybe you need some ibuprofen then. But yeah, like the first thing I'm going to do is try and find a more natural solution to a temporary problem.
Mm-hmm.
And more often than not, especially for children, if they have a headache or they're not feeling good, it's an easy solution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like, oh, we haven't been to the chiropractor in a minute.
Yeah.
We need to get to the chiropractor. Like, but like, and not that we really want to make our podcast about this, but it's in the same way of like vaccinations. There's like a way that you can get your children vaccinated safely with tried and true vaccinations. Do our children need to get 6 shots at one time? No. Do we need to space them out? Absolutely. As a people, the United States eradicated so many of the diseases because of vaccinations, and now here we have an uptick of things like the measles coming back to the United States and children dying from the measles again. That to me, and this is like no shade against anybody. Like your belief system is your belief system, and I support you in what you believe. But like we don't need children to die over something that's very, very preventable. That like there's a solution for. There are shots out there that don't have the mix, like, right? Because you get a vaccine and it's like 4 different vaccinations.
Yeah,
you can get one singular shot, wait 6 weeks and do another one. There's just like, there's so many different options now. We live in 2026.
It's so weird. You're just saying, like, there's a point of like, there's so many options, but yet, why is that not like communicated that something that I should look for options, but yet I have so many options of, I don't know, something that is not really that great of useful information.
Right.
It's not helping me or my family in any way.
Right. It's all about money and dollar and like time. I mean, because I had a fight with my doctors with Anastasia when I said that I wasn't vaccinating her all at one time. And we spread out all of her shots because they looked at me like I was crazy. No, like,
I feel like that's a new thing now too, is like, you don't know what you're not taught. So like, we weren't taught nutrition in the medical field. And now like, we're hearing more and more stories of people not being heard. Like, and it's my body. I know. And I was lucky enough to have somebody that did listen. Yeah. And we had a doctor, and that's how I started my health journey too, of like, oh, diabetes. And people used to always say, oh, but you're not overweight. Yeah. And like there's another stigma of like, oh, just because of that, you don't have something happening with your blood sugar. Okay, they take blood tests. It looks in their normal range.
But when you look at functional medicine, it's not in the normal range.
And I could feel it. Like I could feel sugar. I could feel when I would dip down. And then if I had sugar, I could feel when I was high. So like, I literally one time passing meds as a med searched, and I was like, ooh, I feel a little woozy. Check my sugar. It was at 30. Yeah. And then, I better eat an Oreo, drink some juice, and get back to work.
Yeah. Because nobody taught you any different. And most of the time, people who have that, like, what are they? I mean, literally, they're told, like, eat a candy bar. Yeah, yeah. Like, that's what you do.
And that was my grandma. So I, like, I sat everything that she went through, but she made a lot of these choices. She was diabetic. She chose to sit down and eat a full box of cereal, just continue. But insulin, I'll just take more insulin. That generation, well, the pill will just fix it. I'll continue to do these things. but they were uneducated.
Right, because
Nobody told them that, oh, you should not eat 4 English muffins with peanut butter and honey every single morning for breakfast.
Oh, my heart. Yeah.
Extra blasto butter popcorn every night with a diet A&W root beer. So
your grandmother would have come from the generation before her would have been the generation of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
So there is logic when you think about
why they
generations. Yeah, because their parents came out of poverty. And then we had this big boom, and then all of these instant meals became readily available.
Gosh.
So we're the children of pizza rolls and bagel bites and TV dinners, and people thought that was genuinely the next best thing since sliced bread. And so that's what you ate. You ate Hot Pockets and whatever. I can't even think
all those things sound so good, but also so gross at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to change my mindset of not getting upset at it about it. I can't stress about it. And now we're all about recreating, and that's what I do with my kid. Is oh, okay, a Hot Pocket. I want you to experience a Hot Pocket, but I'm gonna make it homemade.
Right.
I'm gonna make it with some flour, with some local meat, some sauce that we made with tomatoes ourselves.
The farmer's market.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's plenty. I mean, eating
and the
healthy
time
doesn't have to
thing.
be boring.
Okay, we had pizza and sweet potato waffle fries. We had gluten-free pizza from a box from Aldi's and sweet potato waffle fries yesterday. I came out to the kitchen and it still looked like I made that from scratch. I'm is there really what's the time difference?
Yeah.
From cleaning up?
Yeah, seriously though. Yeah. I mean, there's just, so many different solutions. And I think it's just really about listening to your body, listening to what you need in life. And that's been our biggest transition when we created Starlight and Sage, making sure that we stopped being the traditional, what I would say is a holistic health coach. Kind of everybody knows what that means. Oh, you're going to tell me that I have to eat XYZ and that I can't have this and that, and that I need to take all of these supplements, and I need to do all of these things. And that is 100% not what we do. It's not what we want to do. We want to change the narrative. We want to educate people and support people in their own individual journey of finding what's right for them. Because what's right for me isn't necessarily going to be what's right for them. And finally having human beings that say, let us help you remember what it feels like to listen to your intuition and to listen to your body. Because we didn't have that growing up. In 2026, we don't have that. It's super trendy to be a crunchy mom now, or super trendy to go to yoga, or to say that, even breath work and sound healing is trendy. But it's about the actual experience. And we're not doing the trends. We're having these experiences that creates authenticity within an individual. We're not about dramatics. We're not about inducing trauma to heal trauma. It's really about ensuring that when somebody leaves us, they have real practical tools that they can use so that one day they don't need us. And then we just get to cheer them on, and we get to see their lives.
And realize, like you said, coming back to yourself of it's that. It's them doing the work.
Yeah, we aren't doing anything.
Yeah.
We're just educating.
Yeah.
We're just supporting. We're the greatest cheerleaders. And so Shade and I have a getaway that we're doing. It's a 1-day mini getaway where you get to experience somatic dance and fluid motion and breathwork and sound healing. And we're going to do a workshop all about listening to your body and how now what happens with Western medicine and society today, if you have a headache or brain fog, or if your stomach hurts, if you're constipated, if your hormones are out of whack, whatever ailments you might have, everybody sees that as a symptom that you want to erase. What we want to say is, what if this is actually your body communicating, and it's not a problem? It's something that your body's trying to say, hey, I need you to pay attention. and to figure out what that is. Instead of like trying to erase side effects, we want you to look at your brain fog as your body's way of communicating and saying, hey, something's not quite right. We need to fix this. And we need to fix it in a way that's a whole body experience and not just giving you medication or saying that this diet is going to cure all of your ailments, or if you take these 5 supplements, you're all of a sudden going to be cured. And I want us to get away from that, because in 2026, everybody wants the magic button.
Yeah, it's still that,
like the instant gratification. I want to lose weight immediately.
Yeah.
I want to get rid of my symptoms immediately. I want to be healed right away. I want to be able to go into a breath work session after watching TikTok and seeing that like TikTok shows you like this crazy dramatic, people are screaming and crying, and then they walk out of there and they're like, I'm healed and better. What you don't see is the next day.
Yeah.
What you don't see is a month from then. What you don't see is their nervous system still being so dysregulated because, yeah, they had this moment, but then what do you do with it? You have to do the inner work. You have to understand that your subconscious gave you something and now you need to heal from whatever that experience is. And how do you do that? It looks different for every single person. So it's not just a one size fits all. So like our getaway that we're doing on August 30th, for those who are local and in Wisconsin, it's going to be in Madison. We wanted to do it in a space that felt like very positive with a business. They're called Ether Wellness in Madison. They're like right across from the Capitol. She really aligns well with like the vibe that we're going for, like the whole person, the whole body. I'm really just delving into like self-love and body awareness. And the whole point of the getaway is so that we can have you reconnect with your body and come home to yourself. And like, that's our mission. It's literally what it is. It's coming back to yourself and recognizing that you have to live in this body for the rest of your life. This is the only constant that you have. Your soul resides in something that is so temporary for a soul that is so old, and you want to be able to take care of that body, and you want to be able to recognize how to support your body. And like, this is how we're going to do it. So, we've been talking for 47 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was all good.
Yeah.
The biggest takeaway for today is just recognizing that there's so much more out there.
Mm.
That like, it really truly is so many different options for you to like learn to kind of go with the flow, know that even the best laid plan,
go with the flow, man.
for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, even like to end it, like I was cleaning my house. It was a very long 3 days of chaotic busyness for me in particular. And typically I'm home to delegate better. And we had babies this weekend and I had extra jobs that I had done. There was a lot that was going on, so like nothing was right. I was like trying to clean before we did the podcast, and I like grabbed a box. My husband had like a box of beers on the counter, and I like went to pick it up, and all of them just like fell all over the floor. And I just like I like took a deep breath, and like I did not want to be happy about it. I wanted to crash the fuck out. I wanted to scream, and I like. All of the kids were there. I had like my teenage daughter was directly across from me. Shade was on the other side. The other kids were in the living room. I took a deep breath and I just smiled. And I was like,
yep. I laughed. I'm like, I know you did want to smile. I saw it.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you did it. Yeah. And then like Shade gave me a hug and I was like, okay.
And I was like, maybe when he opens them, it'll spray in his face.
Yeah. Yeah. Should have put it away. Yeah. Yeah.
That is.
I mean, I'm very proud of my husband. Well, that's a conversation for a different day, but he's an Army veteran, and in the Army, drinking was so substantial. And here in Wisconsin, it was so substantial. And he's made really great strides in his journey of trying to reduce his alcohol intake. And, you know, it's a lot. It's a whole lot to go through. But I'm proud of him. So he only has some beer on the weekends. And eventually that's going to also come to an end. So if you're listening, just kidding. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so thankful and honored. Remember that the bonus episode comes out on Thursday, so be prepared for that. It's one that just talks about, again, coming back into your body, a little bit about tantric sensuality and sexuality. And we're really excited for that. And we hope you have an amazing day and welcome home. If today's conversation gave you something to think about,
we'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too.
Following our podcast and leaving us reviews helps these conversations reach way more people.
And if you'd like to continue the conversation beyond the podcast, you can find us through Starlight and Sage for classes, workshops, coaching, corporate wellness, breathwork and sound healing, movement, and community.
Until next time, remember, coming home to yourself isn't something that you arrive at once. It's something that you practice every day. Everything we share on this podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes. While we discuss topics related to wellness, movement, nutrition, relationships, spirituality, nervous system health, and personal growth, these conversations are not a substitute for individualized medical, mental health, or professional care. Our hope is to help you find a better understanding for your body, ask meaningful questions, and make informed decisions alongside your healthcare professionals that you trust. At Starlight and Sage, we believe your body carries wisdom. We simply hope these conversations help you learn to listen.